Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem, Chadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great Milson, Truel. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, man. You Akim, Tazadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Alright, I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled, Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honors. Alright? And what inspired this? That's what just popped in my head, man. I'm like, yo, put on the camera. And also I was meditating on the show me and Apostle Elder Ricard did, the beloved Apostle Elder Ricard. And then in the latter part of that show, alright, when the Elder Zakar also stepped in, we were giving praises and honors to High Priest Elder Abba Bivens, High Priest Elder Ariah, High Priest Elder Yaikwab, High Priest Elder Marsha. And not necessarily when I say that in terms of order, that's just the names that are coming to my mind right now. But those men are great men. I also want to say double honors to High Priest Elder Bangloya, a man that passed away, alright? And the Elder Malak also, okay? So these men were men that, oh, and a brother in Miami, alright? His name slips me right now, Salaki, please forgive me, brother. But the elder, I believe his name is Danya Olive. But of course, man, honest to those brothers, man. Honest to the brothers that when they got this word, they finished their course. You know, they stood fast and received the crown. All right, because what the scriptures tell us that the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. So these men that have labored and put their hand to the plow and didn't look back, pursuant to the book of Luke 9:62, until the very end. So we have to give these men their flowers, man. You know. Now you know over the years you've had a lot of people come up against our apostles and elders, you know, and talk shit. Even men, and this is crazy. Even men that the apostles have woken up through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, pursuant to the book of St. John 6:63. Learned from them, gave them honors at one point, and became adversaries of the apostles. And you don't see those guys around. Eventually they fizzle out because the Spirit of the Lord is not with them. But it's just like, bro, like what the fuck have you done? You know, besides talk shit. When these men, the apostles, the elders, have been diligently teaching and prophesying, giving their life to this truth, that has to be admired, man. All right, because it's not easy. Okay, if it was easy, everybody would remain, right? But it's not, because the Lord said it wouldn't be. The Lord tells us when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, and that's according to the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter, verse 1 on down to 5. You know, acceptable men are tried to the furnace of adversity. So this thing is not easy. So to do it decades, all right. And like the men I've mentioned before, from the time you were a young man to the time you die, all right, is not an easy task, and the Lord has to be working with you. So we have to give those men their respects and their honors due, you know. And I'm not gonna, you know, the apostles and others already went to. I don't want to give, you know, I'm giving quadruple honors and infinite honors. No, the scriptures just say double honors, you know. Sometimes, you know, brothers, we get zealous and we, you know, we start to deviate from the scriptures in our zeal. But that's when the apostles put us in check. Why? Because the scriptures tell us that the righteous is diligent to know the state of thy flock. So the apostles and elders always, you know, they make sure that they're guiding us right, you know. And you know, they love us. You know, they don't have to get up every day and put up a video and say, I love you, brothers, I love you, brothers. You see it in their deeds and their actions, right? Because they're first and foremost trying to work out their own salvation. But in working out your own salvation is truly a selfless act, right? Because you're giving up your time, any aspirations in the world that supersedes the truth, you're putting it behind you, okay? Because there's still certain things, again, you could do in this world, a favorite hobby of yours or whatever. But the moment you start to put things before the truth, that's when you're veering off. And the apostles have never done that. You know, we big into all different types of things, and we still pursue our particular passions, all right? Again, if it doesn't conflict with the truth, all right? If it doesn't conflict and hinder with me teaching, all right, then I can still fuck with it, you know, and it's gonna of course come second to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, or third, or whatever priority you place it in your life. You just can't place it before this word. Nothing comes before this word. Not family, not nothing. Okay, and the Lord tells you that, man. If you can't put those things before Him, you're not fit for Him. All right. There's a parable about a rich man that said, "Look, I kept all the laws and all that. You know, what else do I need to do?" Yahweh said, "Look, sell all that you have and follow me." He couldn't do it. Why? Because he lacked faith. You know what I'm saying? So faith is a principal thing. You know, it's a foundation. It's a foundation of your root in this truth. All right, and it's a gift of the Lord pursuant to the book of Ephesians 2:8. So every day, you know, you pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushai just, you know, build up your faith just a little bit more every day by day. And that's why it's very important to do lessons, man. Do lessons when you can. All right, because when you flow like this and you feed in the spirit, man, you just look, man. I told him when we were driving, I told the car, I was just like, you know, we got the cameras, we got our phones. I don't really got no scriptures on me, but you know, we confused. Like, look, man, the scriptures in here. We got the scriptures in us, and that was true. You know, like just what they showed you in the book of Eli. You know, now that doesn't mean that, you know, don't do lessons without the scriptures, but you know, the impromptus, all right, do a nice blend. You know, do an impromptu, all right, or when you're in the crib, you pop up the screen recorder, or you might go live. You know, of course, you're definitely going out there on Saturdays, okay? But you know, it's just flow with the spirit, man. The scriptures in the book of Sirach tells you, force not the course of the river. If the spirit of the Lord is on you, don't quench it. You know, you just speak what comes to your mind and turn the camera on. And I'm not gonna lie, that does come with experience. You know, you can't just be up in this truth, you know, a month or two and just say, I'm gonna start flipping on the camera and just flirting it out. You know, this comes from, you know, being repetitious. All right, and at certain points also just knowing how to stick with what you know. You know, don't go above and beyond of what you don't know. Stick to the core principle of the things that you've learned, because guess what? The basics in themselves are very profound. You know, a lot of people in the world don't even know that they're Israelites. They don't even know the color of the Lord still. You know, you might think, okay, it's 2024, people have woken up. There's people that still don't know about the mark of the beast, the color of the Lord, all right? That God hates, you know, the one they call God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai hates, all right? That English is a bastard tongue. We should be speaking in the Hebrew. Who the devil is, all right? The so-called white man. All these different things. I mean, people do know that, but I'm just saying, you know, it's different baits out there to gather in the elect, okay? Because you might have somebody that knows about UFOs, so-called, but don't know about the white man being the devil, or know the white man's the devil, but don't know about the chariots. And so there's different topics and basics you can go over there to fish for the elect. You know, you cast that net out there, and good fruit comes in, bad fruit goes. You know, and we're not a numbers. We're not a quantitative group. We're a quality group, and that's what the elect is. That's how Yahweh Shem Yahushai operates. When you go in the book of Revelations, the 7th chapter, it tells you only 12,000 out of each tribe of the nation of Israel, okay, is going to be a part of the 144,000, which is in the body of the elect, of course. But even King Solomon gave a ratio of 1 man to every 1,000 possibly is righteous. And that starts to quickly compound. If you know anything about compounding, you'll see that, let's say this, right? 1 for every 1,000, okay? Now, if you have a city of 10,000, you might have 10 righteous men. What about 100,000, all right? You might have 100 righteous men. How about 1,000,000? You might have 1,000 righteous men, all right? Now, let's say you have a 1,000,000-man city, okay? Those 1,000,000 men, okay, can have, let's say you have 1,000,000 men in the city. Those 1,000,000 men can have wives and children and all that. So that 1,000,000-man city might have a population of 10 million. So within that 10 million, you might have 1,000 righteous men. So this is how come we don't get wrapped up in huge numbers and all that, because the way, you know what I mean, this is the same power that flooded the world and only saved 8 souls. So, you know, we're dealing with quality, and to be a quality man of the Lord is a man that reveres the scriptures, all right, deals with honor, respect according to the scriptures, you know. And I you know, that's why I said, you know, to the spirit, man, I every now and again just, you know, put together a lesson, you know, showing that we should give honors to our apostles and elders, man, and not take this thing for granted, or their labors for granted, and the things that they have taught us, man. Because I know for sure, I don't even know where the hell I'll be, man, in this world, man, without this truth. You know, I always believed in the Bible. I always believed in the Lord. You know, I always strive to be successful at what I do. But I'm just like, what's the point if you're not going to be delivered? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? What's the point if you're not going to be saved? You know, what's the point of... I just don't see the point of existing if I'm not doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I pray the Most High keep me in that mindset and increase my fear. But, you know, to know the meaning of life, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, why I'm here, why I'm put here, to fear the Most High and keep His commandments, it's just awesome, man. You know, and then the Most High putting the Spirit on the apostles and elders to spread that knowledge, all right, to teach us and wake us up, man. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. So we're giving them their reverence, always give them their flowers, and of course, as in the world say, man, and they're staying diligent, and we follow in their stead. You know, the same way they do them. They're consistent and diligent, and we try to replicate that. You know, and they're building us up. Okay, they have been building us up. To teach men that come in now, all right, the same way they raised us, you know, and all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for that, man. You know, I'm gonna close the show out. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rachakodash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to the Dakim that do this thing that most truth and sincerity. Shalom.